Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Smokin' Studios for another live episode of the Rocky Mountain Cigar Show. I am fresh off of TGS, and let me tell you what an incredible experience it was last week over at Boynton Beach, or I should say West Palm Beach, for the Great Smoke 20th anniversary. What an incredible event! I'll tell you, it was great to see everyone that I haven't seen in person for a while. Bruce, missed you there, of course. And One One Samurai, awesome. You watched Kevin's show last night. I don't know if this is the first time that you've watched my show or not, but really appreciate you joining. Got a great friend of the show here. Nobody here, anybody that watches this show is very familiar with my friend Aric Bey. He's been on the show almost every year, at least once a year, I think, for almost 4 years now. So he's definitely one of the longer running guests here on the show. But I just got to say, everybody that I saw last week and everybody that came up and said hi, and for those of you that didn't feel like you could come up and say hi, please, if that ever is the case, I hope it's not. I mean, I'm nobody. But for please come up and say hi next time you see me. And for those that did, man, it was an absolute pleasure to see. I got to take pictures with a lot of you, and it was just an amazing experience to be and see everyone last week. So, without any other further ado, because no one's, I got a face for radio. Everyone's coming in here to look at this guy, Aric Bey of Black Star Line Cigars. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, bro. How about you?
Doing good, man.
I'm good.
Doing good. Doing good. Doing
Yeah,
good. How is life out there in Chicago? You getting this crazy weather that the rest of us are getting?
yeah, it's bipolar, bro. One day it'd be 70 degrees, the next day it'd be 20. One day it's raining, and the same night it's, the whole car will be covered by snow. So, yeah, it's weird. Mhm.
It's very weird. And I'll tell you what, my folks live there in Bloomington Normal area, and it was crazy weather for them as well.
Yeah, 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 I'm sure. I'm sure. Hmm.
So, Aric, I really want to light my cigar up. And I'm just going to jump right into the only segment that we do here on the show, which is the What Are You Smoking Tonight, sponsored by Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust. So, Aric, tell everybody what you're smoking. You lit it up pre show. Tell everybody what it is you're
Yeah,
smoking, and then you're going to tell everybody what it is I'm smoking.
it's 1837. It's a special release I did for Benny's Beverage Depot here in Chicagoland area. It pays. It's to honor the year and the date that Chicago was incorporated. So yeah, so it's called 1837. It's rolled by Aganorsa Leaf. And then you are smoking the famous, the infamous, very very hard to get
You ain't
Yasuke,
kidding, dude.
or as some people pronounce it, Yasuke.
I never was able to pronounce it, so I just showed
That
people
one
the
also is
band.
rolled by Aganorsa Leaf.
This was a dojo
Yeah, it's
release
Yasuke.
for those of you that don't remember this release. And this was 2 years ago, right? 3 years ago?
I think it's two.
Two. I bought like three bundles of this thing, and I, I,
Mhm.
I think I, like I told you pre-show, I think I have a bundle unopened somewhere in my humidor. So, um,
Yeah.
what makes this cigar so special and infamous? Is it the
Mm.
one-time release?
Yeah, it's because it's so limited. That cigar sold out in 6 hours nationwide. So a lot of people, after they smoked it, they were like, "Man, I should have bought like two or three, four more bundles." But by the time they went back, they were gone. So yeah, that's what makes it very, very special and unique. I did that blend through Aganorsa Leaf, and Aganorsa Leaf rocked it out exactly how I wanted it to come out. So yeah, it's a very, very limited release that sold very fast.
Well, it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you much, Steve Saka, for sponsoring the What Are We Smoking Tonight segment. So, this cigar, I think I bought two bundles at the dojo party, and then I think I panicked and bought another one at Cigar Fest. Um, just because I know you're blending style and you're teamed up with Aganorsa. I mean, you're not going wrong. you're becoming like the Benny's entrepreneur takeover of Chicago. I go into Benny's to visit my brother-in-law, and I see your entire lineup there. It's fantastic. I even
Hmm.
turned my brother-in-law onto the Leanda and the Warwich. I mean, they're the
Mm.
Warwich Lancero, which it looks like Bruce is smoking tonight. Actually, could you sit a little
Yeah.
forward? It looks like every time you go back, it plays with your audio. Um,
All right, let me
Looks like
move up.
Bruce is
Oh,
smoking the Warwich Lancero right now. So I mean, that's
uh,
it right here. We've got Bruce saying that he needs to replenish. I don't know if Benny's is up in Michigan. Is Benny's only Chicago?
yeah, it's only in Illinois. They don't have a presence outside of Illinois. Mhm.
Now you were you came on very shortly after you got into Benny's, and you were very proud of the fact of being the first African American owned cigar shop to get nation or to get statewide release within Benny's. How has that relationship been for the business, and how is that a growing relationship still, I assume?
Yeah. I mean, this. This is not the only special release I did for Benny's. I did John Baptiste with them also, and that also was rolled by Aganor Salif. So I did two special releases just for Benny's, and then the core line does well there as well. So yeah, it's growing, and I anticipate them to have my brand new cigar to be there as well. So mm,
Okay. And what is that when you first started? They didn't roll you because how many biddies are there in Illinois? As being from the Chicagoland, I think there was like four that I know of.
it's 46.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not a. So how many did they roll you out to start, and how quickly did you, or was it? I don't remember if it was a small segment and then you fully expanded out. But I assume you're in every one of them now, right?
Ye- Yeah, I'm in every one of them in some form or fashion. Some of them may not have the entire line. It just depends on which one you go to. But I'm in all of them in some form or fashion. At least three or four faces in each one of them. You know. But the one that's closest to my house is on 95th Street in Evergreen Park. That one has the entire lineup, and that's actually the number one humidor in the whole state for Benny's. So they do a lot of cigar sales out of there.
Really? So that's I'm 98th in Troy, you're 95th in Kedzie. That's 4 blocks from literally where
Mm.
I grew up. So it's just crazy to hear other people throw out, oh, Evergreen Park. Like I haven't been back there in, decades, not even to really drive
Yeah,
through it. So that's
you're not
awesome.
missing much.
No. I love
It's
my
probably
I
the
love my
same.
mountains. I love my mountains. I know Panos isn't there
Mm.
anymore, but I heard Panos
Mm-mm.
left that piano lounge. That left a decade or so ago or longer.
Yeah, I'm not even familiar with that one.
Yeah, it was just an old smoky piano bar that locals went to.
Hmm.
So how long before you were in all 46?
They rolled that out immediately when they bought the product. They rolled it all
Okay.
out.
So I am remembering correctly. They rolled it to every store. They didn't test sampling.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
and as far as relationship wise, this has to be the biggest retailer for Black Star Line, correct?
Mm.
As far as
I mean,
humidors versus online, I don't know
yeah,
if Benny's do
humidors.
online.
Yeah.
I don't
No, they
know if
don't.
Benny's do online.
Yeah, humidor wise, yeah, that would be my biggest account. Yep.
And that's awesome. You barely got to go anywhere and you can service most of them. Like you don't even have to leave the state. Like it's
Nope.
fantastic. So,
Yeah.
okay, you're at 46 Bennies. Where are you at now? Nationwide, where are your densest regions outside of Chicagoland?
Memphis. Um, where else? Maybe Atlanta. Just off the top of my head, Dallas. We got some presence down there, especially in Fort Worth with Underground Cigars. Yeah, I mean those are some of the densest ones I would say. But I've spread out some all over the nation though. Even I even have a lounge in Hawaii that I'm actually going to do an event with them on the 28th of next week. So mhm.
Oh, Hawaii. Those taxes got to be insane to buy a cigar there.
I don't know. I've never bought a cigar in Hawaii, so Maybe not. I don't know. I'll find out soon though.
I, I assume most places you probably don't really need to buy cigars when you travel. You probably carry with at least two carry-ons, one full stacked with cigars.
Yeah, and then people give me cigars and stuff. But
Of
I'm
course.
I'm always a consumer before an
Oh yeah.
owner or
Oh yeah.
anything. So any lounge I go into, I buy something to support the house. I'm just that type of
You
guy.
have to. You have to. I'm a minimum of 2 to 3 cigars if I go into a lounge. Sometimes a 5 pack if it's a really good deal. You've always got to support the brick and mortars. Those are the backbone of at least where local community shops grow and
Hmm.
learn about your cigars.
Yep.
One Todd says here that you can order online from Binny's.
No, you can't. They
I
don't
know you
ship.
can order liquor. You can order liquor
Mhm.
online because, or at least unless it's buy this directly to, but
Um,
I think it's shipped to store. I
yeah.
think it's shipped to store
Yeah, you
because
can place the order online and go pick it up, but they don't ship anything
yes,
as far as I know.
yeah,
So
yeah, no, they're liquor because you can buy like high end bottles of scotch for tens of thousands of dollars, but that's shipped to store stuff. So you go pick it up from the local store
yeah,
after
they
a
do
couple
have a
weeks it
local
takes to get there.
delivery that they do. You can order and have it delivered. I think actually they started doing. Benny started working with DoorDash, so you could actually have DoorDash go get liquor from Benny's and they'll bring it to you. But as far as shipping anywhere, I don't care if it's the store is in Chicago and you need it shipped to the suburbs, they won't ship that. Or liquor, they don't. As far as I know, they don't ship anything. So it's either pickup or delivery.
Yeah, I see. You would think they would do online, at least to the state of Illinois. I mean, but they're
It would
only
make sense.
Chicagoland area though. They're not spread out through Illinois. Well, they go to. There's one in
Oh
Bloomington
yeah,
Normal, but are they in Southern Illinois too?
yeah. You can go to Benny's in Champaign, down where University of Illinois is. Even further, the Bloomington down in Illinois. I think there's a Benny's there too. So yeah, you could get them downstate. Hmm.
Okay. Your audio is coming through a little choppy here. I'm not entirely sure why. Say something.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure either. I do hear a little crackling in my earpod, but
Yeah.
I'm just try to ignore it. So
Let me know if that's interfering or if that's just something I can hear, everyone. Um, so it looks like there obviously some online retailers for Black Star Line would be Small Batch, right? Yeah, Small Batch Underground Cigar Hustler, Black Line Luxury, and it
yeah.
looks like a local selection in Southfield was given for
Hmm.
Tobacco Town as well.
Yeah, Casa de Monte Cristo and Tobacco
Fantastic, dude.
Town in Trenton.
You're
Mhm.
growing huge, man. Are you doing PC? You're going to PCA this year.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm releasing Eugene Bullet there. So it's rolled by La Zona, Eric Espinosa's factory. Mhm.
Nice. Okay, so is this is this the first time you've branched out of Aganorsa?
No. Oh,
What was
Rosewood
another
1923 comes from
non-Aganorsa?
Oveja Negra. Yeah, Rosewood 1923 comes from Oveja
That's
Negra.
right. That's the
Metalwood
only
MLK and
one though,
Maroon.
right?
No.
I
Metalwood and
thought you
mm,
wow, okay, so that I'm just being dumb here. I thought most of you, well, I guess majority of your stuff is probably Aganorsa, but I didn't realize that I guess I just don't remember that the manufacturer for that was Ovea Negra.
mm,
I mean, that Rosewood's a fantastic. I called you when I actually bought my first one at the shop here in Littleton. Is it that small little shop I called you about? I'd love to give her a shout out, but I can't think of it.
yeah.
Uh, it has like a back
Smolder,
end
maybe?
lounge, really small.
Yeah,
Smolder,
Smolder.
Smolder. Shout out
Yeah.
to Smolder.
Hmm.
If you're in the Colorado or Denver area, Smolder has his lineup. So definitely check
Mhm.
that out. And the rosewood was fantastic. It was a little punchy, so it totally makes sense that it comes out of Oveja Negra. I mean, it was a good cigar. It was a good cigar. So
Yeah,
this
yeah.
this is the first with Espinosa.
No. So
Oh, I am fucking
Maroon,
up
my
here.
fifth year
I'm
anniversary,
sorry.
my 5th year anniversary cigar Maroon came from La Zona as well. And so yeah, no, this is my second time working with La Zona.
Okay, okay. I remember Baroud. I remember Baroud. I guess I just took for granted that I just always assumed that you were vast majority, and I guess I apologize. Please forgive me. Um, but okay, so let me take the foot out of my mouth here. I'll call myself out on it. So here, I don't know if I could get it out, but there we go. Um,
Mhm.
so, what are you releasing at PCA? What are you willing to talk about? How much can you share? Give us the blend. Everything you don't actually want to
Uh,
talk about, let's
yeah,
talk about it.
I could share everything for because I already dropped a press release on it. So Half Wheels got it, everybody's got it. Now the
Oh,
cat's
oh,
out the bag, baby. So yeah, Eugene Bullard, he was the first
that's
black
true.
combat
That's true.
fighter,
That's true.
and he's just an amazing individual. That one of the guys from Dojo actually sent the story to me, and he was like, "Man, you need to look at this because this would be a good name for to pay homage to somebody." So yeah, he was the first black combat fighter. He fought in World War I. He was also a boxer. He was a horse jockey. He owned a nightclub. He was a spy for the French allegiance, on spying on the Nazis. He just did so much stuff. It made me feel like I haven't done anything. So he's just an amazing individual. So that's why I wanted to make sure that I can bring his story more to the light, and so people can look him up and look at his story and see he was a great individual that should be talked about more. So the blend is
It should
it's a San
be.
Andreas wrapper with a Nicaraguan binder and filler. Mm,
Okay, and are we looking at medium? I assume medium plus,
medium full, yeah.
medium full.
So
Okay, is it going to have
yeah,
a lot of pepper on the retro?
not a lot of it, it'll be some there, yeah. Yeah. So it's a 5.5 by 46 is the Vitola.
Oh, great size, great size. What's this one?
Mhm.
This is a six by what?
Yasuke is a 6 by 52. It's a Toro.
See, it doesn't smoke like it's a 52 ring gauge. It feels more. It smokes like it's a little smaller. It's good. Like I
Yeah.
said, this is just it's fantastic. So 5.5 by 46. What made you go with that size versus a 6 by 46 or 5 by 40 or a 5 by 50? Why specifically 5.5 by 46?
It was just a slightly different size than what I already have. Like I normally do a 6 by 46. So I was like, let's do something, cut it just a little bit shorter. So it'd be something different in the portfolio than what's already in there. Because I don't have anything that's 5.5 right now. So I was like, let's try that one out. And the blend smokes fantastic in that size. So I was like, hey, it works in that size. Let's roll with it.
What is your blending size before you branch out to other sizes? What's your starting size?
Normally Corona. I like Corona
So
6 by
6 by
46. So
46 is your start.
hmm
Okay.
yep.
So
Then I branch out to Robustos and Toros and stuff like that.
how much do you go through every size you feel like going through before you settle, or do you stop yourself at the size you're like that's good, I like it, well let's try it this, no I love it, the robusto? Would you keep going, like once you found your keys you keep looking type deal just to see?
Mm, Depending on how money's looking, it depends on how many sizes I'm gonna bring out. So if money's not as plentiful as I like it to be, then we go with the original size that we blended it for. So that's why we blended it for a 5.5 by 46. So that's why I stuck with that size. Eventually I'll branch it out to some other sizes, but we'll let this blend in that size grow some legs, and then we'll bring something else out for the people.
Oh, yeah, so I think I said it wrong. When you're blending, do you start with a 6x46, okay? And then do you then go, let's see what it's like at a Robusto. Let's see what it's like at a Toro. And then so as you're going through the line, do you stop where you're like, I love the Robusto, but maybe let's try it another size? Or do you just go, oh, the Toro's
Mm.
better than the Robusto or the 6x46. Let's go with this.
Yeah.
Does that make
No,
sense?
when I'm locked in on the size, yeah, yeah. When I'm locked in on the size, I perfect it for that size. And
Okay,
then
so you
after that
blend to
one's
the
been sold,
size.
yeah, yeah, yeah. After
Okay.
that's been sold, then we adventure into other sizes and I smoke them and see how they taste in those sizes and see if that's something that I want to put out.
Okay, okay. So you start with a size in mind and then perfect it for that. You don't float
Hmm.
around and create five different blends off or five different sizes off of one blend and then determine which is the one that you want to
Right,
release. See, I like that though.
right, right,
I
right.
like that because that doesn't that
Hmm.
makes it look like that you're dialed in much more trying to find
Hmm.
exactly the what you want versus floating around going, yeah, this one was better. Yeah, this one was better. You're kind of perfecting it based on what you originally wanted it to even look like. Because you always
Right,
hear the
right.
guys that go, I originally wanted this to be a Robusto, but then I smoked a Toro and wow, like the Toro was like amazing. So I was always
Hmm.
just curious if, so everything for you starts with the size.
Yeah, yeah,
Where does
and
the
whatever
name
tobacco
come
I'm
in?
looking to use. I usually find the name in the story first, and once I have a
Okay,
story and somebody I want to use a historical figure or historical story, then I'm starting to think about the blends and what tobaccos I want to use and that type of thing, you know. And then the size is probably the last thing I think about. So it's the story, the blend,
okay.
and then the size. Hmm.
So when you're coming up with the story, or when you're researching the story, coming up with the background on the individual, or how you're going to focus the story around, what in that story allows you to visualize the blend?
Mm, I guess it's just how powerful the story is, you know,
Okay.
and how much I want to pay homage to it, you know. And that kind of drives me to think about like, all right, so what kind of blend would do justice to this story? And then I just go from there.
Okay, so as you're doing, like, do you get like the, oh, this would be like a great Maduro wrapper kind of as you're going through it, or I could see the binder kind of flowing in here because it's a little stronger and the individual is a little stronger here. Like, is that kind of, I'm breaking this down because this is how people love to hear how these things are created, and it's
Hmm.
the story that sells the cigar. So the more we
Yeah,
can involve the story, and you're very much into the history side of how
yeah,
you create your cigars. So I've always wondered that. Like, what
yeah.
do you look for in the story that kind of speaks to you about the blend?
Yeah, with Eugene Bullard, it was all the transitions that he went through in his life. Like I said, he was a horse jockey, a boxer, spy, fought in World War I, and if memory serves, he fought some in World War II as well. And it was just so many different transitions that he had in his life that I wanted to, you know, make sure I caught some of those transitions and put similar kind of transitions into the cigar.
So we're expecting a little bit of a buildup in that cigar then as you smoke it. It'll
Yeah,
start nice and friendly and then get a little strong, and as he's boxing he's knocking your head off, and then he goes back to being nice. And that's awesome. But see, it's stuff like that. It's that backstory. It's the behind. It's the how was it created
yeah.
that allows
I,
people, in
I,
my
I'll
opinion,
tell
to
you
have
like
a
this.
stronger attachment.
Hector Alfonso, the Espinosa's blender, he smoked it and he was like, "Yeah, this cigar got balls." So yeah, like Eugene Bullard, to do all those different things he had balls that had to pull that shit off. So I wanted that cigar to match the balls that he had. So not to say this like gonna blow your top off, but it's got some good strength to it. It's got some good transition to it and great flavor.
Well, if Hector says that, I mean, Hector doesn't smoke anything light at all. He hates Connecticut's from what he's said on my story. So if he's saying it's got balls, it's got balls because pretty
Yeah.
much everything he smokes got balls. So
Yep.
that's awesome. And how long was this blend in creation?
Mm, maybe like a year. Yeah, so like a year we've
A
been working
year?
on it. And yeah, I was gonna release another blend at PCA, but the tobacco I needed wasn't totally ready, so we I went with that one, and it's just as good as the one that I was going to release. So I was very pleased with that anyway. So either way, the one I was going to release, I'll just release it at another time. So I got another blend through Espanola too. So I just haven't found a name for it yet.
And now you can use that for next year PCA for a release for that,
Yeah,
you know? So you're
or
that
maybe
now
I'll
it's
drop
got a
a
little bit
surprise
more
release
time.
sometime later this year. Yeah. So. Hmm.
Ooh, breaking news.
Yeah, so
We
we'll
got
see.
a
We'll
end of
see how
year
the year
release
plan
from
pans out.
So, when does this cigar is it being launched at and sold at and available after PCA?
Yeah, it's being sold at PCA, and it's probably going to ship in May. So
Okay, so right before the
not too
summer,
far
into
after.
May, right before
Yeah,
summer.
yeah, not too far after PCA. So
And are you getting a lot of your shops like excited about this? Are they already purchasing? Like, are you selling it already, or kind of getting a list of people? I
yeah, yeah,
assume. I mean, why
yeah,
wouldn't
yeah.
you? Right? Like, you're not
Yeah.
waiting for PCA to do things.
Oh no. And as Mike Rosales from Roma Craft told me, he came here and smoked in my garage where I'm at now. And he told me that you need to try to sell those cigars before they even make it in the States. So when he told me that, that's been my
Oh
motto. It's been
yeah.
my mantra. That's what I try to do. I try to sell those fuckers out before they get here. So we can, place another order and get some more.
Well, that's the way to do it because by the time you get to PCA, maybe you only got a little bit left in the shops that didn't jump in. So then you sell out at PCA. Plus, I don't know about you, I don't think you would ever do a PCA exclusive that's got to be only sold for the people at PCA. I don't get why brands do that. Like, you're shooting yourself in the foot. There's so much more companies out there nationwide. Like, I don't understand why people do PCA exclusives. But
Mm,
something like
it-
this, obviously, it's nice to go into it mostly sold.
yeah, I mean, I've never done that, but I mean, I guess it's to encourage more retailers to come to the show. It would be my thinking on it. I could be wrong, but I've never talked to another owner about why they've done just a PCA exclusive. But that would be my thought on it, is to draw more people to the show. So the whole show is more attractive because you can only get what XYZ cigar at the show. So that would be my thinking on it, but I could be wrong though.
Yeah, but I look at it and go, is PCA paid you for a portion of that cigar for it to be exclusive? Like, they're asking you to take a cut in sales just to keep it for them. I mean, as a business guy, as a business consultant for what I do, that's the only thing in my mind is you're limiting my sales.
Hmm.
I know that's
Hmm.
just me
I agree.
personally. I'm a greedy
No, I
motherfucker when
agree.
it comes to running a business. I mean, everything's mine if I can take it. I don't care. So, coming into PCA, we've got this new release. The new release will be available sometime May to extremely early June if things get, cigar world things happen. Is this going to be a 10 count? Is this a 20 count box?
They're 10 counts. Yeah, they're 10 counts. We're doing bundles for this one. So they're 10
Okay.
counts. So yeah, yeah, yeah. And then the boxes and stuff will come the second run. So I kind of ran out of time on production for boxes and stuff. So I was like, we go a little simple on this one, and then come with the full Monty on the second run.
Okay. So when are we expecting to maybe see the second round? This year, I assume. because it's going to
Oh
sell
yeah,
out
yeah,
quick.
yeah.
We already know this.
I'm expecting to sell all those cigars out at PCA. So we sell those out, get them out to the people, and then have a new batch rolled and keep the party going.
Perfect. Awesome. Awesome. How's everything else been for you? Are you able to kind of chillax and take some you time? Because I know you cigar owners don't ever take breaks, or everybody doesn't think everybody okay. And I'll give you the floor here on this. One of my biggest
Hmm.
pet peeves is peeking behind Oz's curtain within the cigar industry is it's
Hmm.
not a vacation for you guys to go out every weekend to shows and events, and like it's legit work. And even if you're having a few drinks and whatnot, you're still waking up the next day working. So are you able to kind of take a little bit of you time now and kind of step back a little bit? Not step back, but kind of smell the
It's
roses.
rare. Yeah, it's rare, bro. Like you said, I am on the road a lot. And then, yeah, I might be out having drinks and cigars. I enjoy drinks and cigars, but it's still work, you know. So it's like I'm always on the clock, even when I'm on the road, because I'm representing the brand. So even if I'm sitting in the lounge that I'm not carried at, I'm still representing my brand. So I can't be in there and be loud or, saying a bunch of ignorant stuff or that type of thing. So I have to act somewhat professional because I'm wearing Black Star Line and I got to protect the brand. The brand's my baby. So, but yeah, I mean, every once in a while I get a chance to chill out, but it's not a lot, bro. It's a constant grind. I'm talking to Ostos in Dominican Republic, or I'm talking to Hector, or I'm talking to Terrence Riley about something, or I'm talking to James Brown, or so I'm just always talking to somebody about something, and even when I'm trying not to talk about Black Star Line, people will hit me up late at night, like, "Hey, what about this or what about that? Do you want to talk?" And I'm like, "Bro, it's like 9 o'clock at night. I don't want to talk about Black Star Line right now. Look, you want to talk about a movie or something, or let's talk about something else." So, but no, I don't get a lot of free time. Mhm.
By the way, if anyone's interested, you could hit Eric up. He will answer. His cell phone is in the description of this. He loves the 1 a.m. He doesn't sleep. So when you do get an opportunity to step back, like, are you being a
Mhm.
fireman is in your background? Are you an adrenaline junkie guy? Are you somebody to go jump out of a plane and parachute or climb a mountain, or are you motorcycles? Like, what are you? What do you like to do?
I mostly watch. I work out. I got to stay in some kind of shape. My body's too beat up for me to go back to be a firefighter, so that's not even an option at this point. The job beat the hell out of me. So
Sure, sure.
yeah, I would love to go back, but physically I don't think I could do it. But yeah, I mean, if I do like to travel, but like I said, I haven't had personal time to travel. But I watch a lot of movies. Of course, I sit back and drink whiskey and craft beers and stuff, and my buddies come over and keep me company, and we sit back and laugh and talk about each other, and have a good time with each other. So I to be honest with you, bro, I'm pretty boring. I don't really go out when I'm at the house. I'm at the house, bro. I have a whole lounge here in the garage, and I got thousands of cigars in the house, and I got 100 bottles of whiskey out here. So I mean, what cigar lounge in Chicago could beat that? You know what I'm saying? And it's only, I got a detached garage, so I walk 10 feet to my door, and I'm in my house, and I don't have to, turn on my truck or anything. I just hang out and chill and relax as much as I can. I like to sit in the sauna. I have a portable sauna in my basement, so I get in there and sit and think and relax and make sure my blood pressure's okay and all that type of stuff. So yeah, I mean that's what I read sometimes. I read a lot of articles and stuff, a lot of news articles and stuff. So mhm.
Yes, yes, to freak. That is his church, and he visits and prays often. Uh, he's the pastor, elder, and deacon of his own church. You should see the plate when it gets passed around. I'll tell you what.
Oh yeah, there's whiskey in the plate.
It's just a bottle that gets passed around in a plate. Oh,
Oh yeah,
that's a good idea. Make it like
yes.
a plate church bottle.
I'm drinking Russell's Rye right now. So
Nice. I
Actually
am
goes pretty good with his
drinking Hidden Barn
1837.
myself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, are you? So you don't get out and do any sort of like fishing. I mean, the bars in Chicago are nuts. I'd rather stay where there's 100 bottles of liquor that I already paid for, versus going out and spending 5x on a drink that you can make at home for 2 seconds. So,
Yeah.
do you like to do like any fishing? Do you like to go camping? Any of that stuff? Are you outdoorsy at all in that way, or?
Negative. I so I used to be in the Cub Scouts when I was little, and they were going to
Hmm.
camp in the woods, and my dad was like, "Hey, they're going camping. You want to go?" And I was like, "Absolutely not. I've seen Friday the 13th too many times." So yeah, it's something about camping just didn't sit well with me. And then, so my dad,
Hey,
my dad is an old guy from Shreveport, Louisiana, right? So he's into the country shit, So he
okay.
he would go fishing and stuff, but he never took me. But then he would have took me, but I never showed interest in it. I was when I grew up, I was playing video games, and I played a lot of sports, man. I was always out playing football and fighting, the little boys. I was just a rough little boy. That's probably why I'm all beat up now. I've just been rough over the years, So, but yeah, outdoorsy stuff. Unless it's like I couldn't do like a tent. I had to do like a cabin or something where it's kind of modern. At least it's something modern in there, a toilet
Yes.
and all that. I
Glamping.
can't. I could probably do
Glamping.
that. Yeah, yeah, that looks nice. I could
Yeah.
probably do that.
Oh yeah.
But we're in a
Oh,
tent?
totally.
No.
Yeah. I want to drive. I want to drive. I want to drive to my camping thing. I want to turn the key on and have it all lit up. An RV. That's my. At 40 years old, my back can't take sleeping on the ground or a cot anymore. I can't do it. If I'm going camping somewhere, I want to know there's a great chair to sit in and it's air conditioned, it's out of bugs.
Yeah.
People are like, well, it's part of the experience. I'll drive the RV to any mountain view and I'll look at it.
Yeah.
I don't need to
Hmm.
live outside to appreciate
Yeah, no. I could do an RV, that's fine. But yeah, no. If
it.
I'm out,
Bruce.
no. No.
Bruce,
Bugs and
camping's good at
animals and shit.
Holiday Inn.
Yeah, nah. And my HK only got 12 bullets, so I'm like, yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna waste them all out there in the wilderness shooting that shit. So
Well, I'll tell you what. So you bring that up because I know you're a gun guy. You bring that
hmm.
up. I don't, quite frankly, it's none of my business, but I carried, I don't expect you to answer this, but I carried concealed Illinois. I was actually
Okay.
within the first 30 days of it going concealed, they had a discounted, like, license course for $99 that my father and I both took, which, if you're familiar at all with Illinois, everybody, it's like $250 to $300 from what I understand now for a concealed carry course. And then you have
Mm,
fingerprints and background checks and everything. It's about $500 from what I've been told to get a current concealed carry, new, not renew, but new. Um,
right.
so I always carried. I carry out here. I carry
Hmm.
everywhere. I got my daughter. I always have at least one. Um,
Hmm.
and my friends know if I'm running, I'm empty and you should be running too because I'm trying to beat you because all I got to do is be faster than the person I'm out running, like, so when it comes to going out in the woods, I always have a 357, my 357 Magnum. And if I ever did go camping, people are like, oh, nobody's ever gotten hurt in these woods. I'm like, yeah, but I'd be that one guy that you'll see on the national news attacked by bobcat. Like, nobody wants to go out like that. And they're like, oh, they're only 85, 90 pounds. Yeah,
Hmm.
my
Ambitious
nine
too.
pound cat claws the fuck out of my arms and everything. I
Hmm.
couldn't imagine what
Hmm.
10 times the size of him would do to me. It's
Right.
got nothing to do with it.
Right.
So I'm right there with you. I want to be able to lock myself in an RV and be safe, man. Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh
And we're
yeah.
getting
Oh
too
yeah.
old for that.
Yeah. But that's another thing I didn't mention. I go shooting a lot. I go shooting at the range and stuff. And then there's outdoor ranges a little further out. It's a little too cold for me to go out there for that. But I'll take ARs out there. I got the
You go to Get
I got
Guns?
the say it again.
Have you ever
I
been to
didn't hear you,
Get
which
Guns?
long time ago.
Get
It's kind of far away from
Guns.
me.
G
That's why
A
I don't go there
T.
a lot.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's kind of far
Yeah.
away from me. So I've been there before, but I haven't been there in a long time.
Yeah,
It's a
that's
nice
usually
range
where.
from what I remember.
Yeah, no, it looks like it's a hoarder. It's a hoarder's house. Like guns are packed stacked on top of each other. You look at the pistols, they're like, I'll see the one at the bottom in the middle right there stacked on the other
Hmm.
four. It's a tiny little place, but yeah, they had a nice indoor range.
Hmm.
I used to go to Frankfurt Sportsman's Club a lot and do clay
Mm.
shooting. Do you ever get into clays or
Okay.
just handguns, rifles?
No, I've never shot a clays before. I got a Benelli M4, but I haven't used it for that. I was just in the range blasting them bad boys. Man, that's a phenomenal shot. I see why John Wick liked it. So yeah, it's an Italian masterpiece.
Oh
So
yeah. Oh, Benelli,
mhm.
you can't go wrong with Benelli, especially the M4. That's much more of a tactical setup than what you would take bird hunting. No, I don't think you
Yeah.
show up with a pistol grip bird gun. They'd be like, "Whoa,
Mhm.
okay,
Mhm.
you are
Mhm.
from Chicago."
Yeah, right. Yep. But I mostly shoot 9 millimeters.
So,
I like that because I could just switch. I can just grab
yeah,
ammo. I don't have to think about it. It's all 9 millimeter, so I
mhm.
just put it in whatever gun and shoot. You know.
That's the best way to do it. I actually went from 45. My everyday carry, I always thought was going to be a 45. I have a Smith and Wesson M&P 45. And I always
Okay.
was like, oh, I'm going to carry this thing. I'm going to carry this tissue box around. And I remember put it in my belt one day. Like when I got my conceal, or right before I was going to get my concealed carry, I was like, I'm not carrying this thing around. I got to have suspenders and a belt, just to
Yeah, it's
keep my
heavier. The
pants up.
45 is heavier. Yeah, its
It's
rounds are
much,
bigger and it's
yeah.
heavier. Yeah.
Oh
Hmm.
yeah. So I
But
switched to the Shield version 9 millimeter.
hmm
So that's my
oh,
everyday.
that's a great gun.
Oh
Great gun. Great, especially for
yeah,
everyday carry.
I'll
Great
cut the
gun.
bullseye out. Oh, it's
Hmm.
fantastic.
Hmm.
And it's all you need. Like people are like, "Oh, I need the extended magazine." Well, practice. Practice and you don't need the extended magazine. Like practice. Why do you I don't want to be responsible for 30 rounds flying through the
Yeah,
air, you
if you
know?
need some shit like that, you need to go over to Iran and participate in Trump's thing going on over
Oh,
there. So you know, so
absolutely, absolutely. So, where has the most exotic place, and whether it's in this country that you've never been or outside of the country that Black Star Line has brought you?
the most exotic place, it's probably gonna be Hawaii. That'd be the most exotic event I've ever done. I've never done an event in Hawaii, so I'm really looking forward to this. It's gonna be different, and the whole event is centered around us. So my national sales manager Richard Bratt, he's in the comments. Me and him are flying out there to Oahu to I think the lounge is pronounced Mokalia, and that's Kalani's lounge out there. And he has this big event every year called No Joke Smoke. And he picks one company to be featured for that whole event, and it's going to be 150 people there. So he bought a bunch of product. I made a special cigar for that event
Wow.
as well. So it's called the Table. It pays homage to Hawaiian firefighters out there. So it's got a Hawaiian firefighter theme on the band. I wish I had one here so I could show it to you, but I don't have one here. It's on its way to Hawaii now.
Okay, okay, nice. So you guys so anybody in the Hawaii area listening, venture out there, you get an exclusive black line cigar that you can't get anywhere else. 150 people there. Is it a ticketed event?
Yeah, it's sold out. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. Everybody's waiting for us to get there.
Man, that's gotta make you happier than pig and shit, dude, to walk into an event completely sold out and they're there to see you. It's not like you're the opener. Like they're there to
Yeah.
see you. 150 people paid. On top of paid for the ticket, you know they're buying boxes, 5-pack singles of everything you have there. Like
Hmm.
that's just gotta be an immense feeling to walk into a sold out anything as a cigar
Yeah.
shop, as a cigar brand owner.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree, man. I'm definitely honored to when Kalani mentioned it to me at last PCA that he wanted me to do it. So I've been planning on it the whole time, and I got everything to him. he got my core line already, and then it's just those the cigars coming from Tabacalera La Isla in Santiago, the Dominican Republic. They're on there. They're in Cincinnati right now, and then once they finish all the custom stuff or whatever they got to do, and stuff that I don't deal with, then it'll continue on to its destination.
Okay. Any other events in the mainland that you're doing that you could tell everybody about? We got Bruce asking to see if there's any events you got coming on in the 48.
Um, I don't know off the top of my head right now. Because I haven't booked many cities after that. I haven't been traveling as much. I've been kind of staying around the house and staying with my daughter and make sure she's good. So there will be some events. I'm not sure when. So
Okay. Okay. Um, so do you have any ambition to find your way overseas and do the whole European tour, Germany, UK? Is that on the books for you in the near future?
yeah, I am making my return to Intro to Back this year. I haven't been there in 3 years, I think it is. Yes, I think it's been 3 years since I first did Intro to Back. I had a booth out there and everything. We didn't get any traction that first time, so but I was told that you got to go to the event like 4 years in a row just to get people to really be like, "Hey, we want to rock with you and bring the product over there." So I've been working with Aganorsa and Fabian. Fabian deals with a lot of international stuff with Aganorsa. So we've been strategizing on how to get the product over there because Aganorsa will roll the product, finish it, put it in boxes and all that stuff. I won't even see the cigars. They'll go directly from Aganorsa to Germany, Europe, wherever they're going. So we gotta get people to over there to pick it up, and then once they pick it up, it's go time. And then I'll go over there maybe a week or two out of the year and do a tour and to different countries and do events and then come on back home.
Well, Intertobacco is exotic. I've never been over to Germany, right? Isn't that where Intertobacco is, right? Like, I mean, I've never been there.
Yeah,
I've never been
it's
to
in
Hawaii
Dortmund.
either. But
Well,
that's
I
Germany,
mean,
right?
if you've been to like yeah, Dortmund's in Germany. If you've been to like Cleveland, you've been to Dortmund. That's what Dortmund's like. It's nothing spectacular. Trust me, bro. It's not. It's kind of like an industrial town or something like that. You know. So, but I mean, we had fun out there because I had never been to
It's
Germany,
just a
so we
lot
got
further
around
than
some and
Cleveland from you.
yeah. We went to Dusseldorf and Dortmund and I forget the other city that's like on the other side. It's like Dusseldorf's on one side, Dortmund's in the middle, and then there's another city on the other side that we went there too. I can't think of the name of it right now, but they all remind me of like Cleveland. So trust me, bro, there's nothing exotic about it at all.
Cleveland. Hey, at least that's close to you, but this is like a 16-hour plane ride just to go to Cleveland, I guess. But that's a totally
Yeah.
different experience. That's a totally different way of even selling
Hmm.
cigars. You can't do events like you do here over there. And in fact, your
Yeah.
partner, I don't know his real name, but Cigar Brad said that you got an event in June that you're going to be announcing
Yeah.
soon.
Is it in June?
And then
Oh, at Tobacco
yeah,
Town
Cigar Brad
in
said you had something in
Trenton,
June.
Trenton, Michigan. Yeah. That's in the Detroit area,
Oh,
so I will be
there
up
you
there for that.
go.
Yeah, that's why my national
There
salesman
you
is in
go,
there. He's there to
Bruce.
keep me on track and remind me of stuff because I forget, bro. So it's on my calendar. I don't have my calendar in front of me though, so I haven't. Me personally, I haven't even made it that far yet. I'm still trapped on PCA and logistics for that.
Well, a good thing he's watching it. Bruce, that's got to be relatively close to you. So definitely check that out in June. Let's see. Sean was at CDM last time I was there. Don't know if he still is. I don't know who Sean is. I don't
Uh,
know who Sean is. Is Sean somebody that works at CDM?
I think he works there. Yeah, I think he works there if I remember right.
Dude, so many people go, "Do you know these? Do you know this shop?" And I'm like, I can't know everything. Like, there's so many of these little shops, and they're all great in their own right, which is why we need to really support the local brick and mortars, not just the online brick and mortars as well, but the local brick and mortars give a lot of the vibe. And to be honest with you, they help with the boutiques, I think, more than some of the bigger stores help with. Uh,
Yeah.
I think the smaller stores kind of have taken that over and understand over the last couple of years to bring in some of the smaller boutiques because those are, the Instagram cigars. Those are the cigars that do the heavy marketing that they see,
Hmm.
but they themselves don't necessarily smoke. So when you go to a shop owner and you're talking to them and they go, ah, I don't smoke it though. I don't know if I want to bring it. Like, how do you overcome that? Like, what is your overcome to the I only bring in what I smoke shop owner, or do you just go, okay, then we're not for you? Do you not push back?
I mean, I always let them have try samples to see if I could change their mind, but I don't kiss anybody's ass to carry me here. No, I'll never do that. I'm a man above anything, so I don't grovel for anything. There's plenty of shops that will carry me. I typically don't bother with like shops that are like legacy shops, where it's like all Rocky Patel, Drew Estate, because that leads me to
Okay.
believe and even observing that you don't talk to the customers when they go into the humidor and introduce them to newer cigars. Because
Yes.
people usually will buy like brands they automatically recognize. So and then when they don't recognize the brand, they just walk past it like, oh, they automatically assume it's trash and never had it. So those are the legacy cigar shops. I kind of avoid those because it's a harder sell for me. So, and I don't want to sell to them, and then they don't, introduce people to the line, and then the line just sits there, and then it doesn't do well, and then they end up putting it in a discount bin just to get it off, so they can put something else on that shelf.
Yeah, and that's everyone sees the discount bin as like the killer of cigars, but I'll tell you what, I tell this to everybody. I know lounges that are within like 5 miles of each other that have completely different clientele.
Yeah.
Completely, like I've seen cigars in clearance bins at one lounge that are mega sellers 5 miles away at another lounge. So I always tell
Yeah.
everybody, take the clearance as you got a gift. And if you
Hmm.
like that cigar, go find it. Do
Yeah.
yourself a favor, go find it. But I totally get where you're coming at because the last thing you want is to have that visual of being in the clearance bin because then there's a perception, even though the perception's not reality in truth,
Hmm.
but to them, perception is reality. So, are you
Yeah.
picky then when it comes to putting like your cigars in shops? And the reason why I ask that, like when you went into Benny's at 46 locations at one go, was there training behind that for you at each one of the locations to kind of learn and educate your product, or how did you map that all
Yeah.
out?
When early on, we had a strategy of going to different locations, and I was staying in there for at least an hour, and I was trying to sell at least a box of cigars while I was in there for that hour. And we usually were very successful at that in every location. And we were talking to the humidor manager because that's the difference between Benny's and say Total Wine or Specs. They have humidors as well, but they don't have a dedicated humidor person in that humidor where Benny's
Correct.
does in almost all of them. Right.
Hmm.
So yeah, so I went and
And
spent
they're
time with a
actually
lot of them as well.
knowledgeable. They're actually knowledgeable.
Yeah, yeah, all of them, pretty much all of them smoke, and so yeah, I go in. Like I said, I go in there. I pick a different location, or one of somebody that works for me, or go to another location, and we work for, like I said, about an hour, sell about a box of cigars, talk to the customers, let them know that we're here and that type of thing, and it gets around. Like I was leaving Memphis about a month ago, and I was in the airport, and I'm always branded. I have on a hoodie, a shirt, something that says Black Star Line. So as I was getting in line, I was on Southwest, so I was getting in line to board, and this guy was looking at me, and then he finally said something. He was like, "Hey man, make sure we keep them cigars and bennies because we love them." So that really put a smile on my face. So, the people that hadn't met me before, and they recognize me and they recognize the brand, and they're like, dude, keep doing your thing because we buying from Benny's and we want those jokers still in there. So yeah, we're doing a good job with Benny's.
See, that drives you, like that's a hey Borg. Um, yes, I agree. Cigar Brat, great cigars can be found in clearance bins as well. Like I said, like it doesn't mean
Yeah.
anything. It doesn't mean, it just means that clientele doesn't specifically buy those. So
Yeah,
as you're
here's the thing.
doing,
It doesn't matter what brand it is, bro. Every brand has made it to the clearance bin. Nobody's is exempt. Trust me, they're not. It just depends on what location it is, and you know, like Benny's. Like Benny's is the perfect example. Black Label Trading Company was carried in there. They dropped them. They said the cigars weren't doing well there. And Black Label Trading Company makes some phenomenal cigars, and they just didn't do well at Benny's. So it happens to everybody. It don't matter who it is. You find Drew Estate shit in
oh,
in
it
in in,
totally
uh, in the
happens.
clearance, man.
It totally happens. I do think, as much as I love Black Label, I do think versus your profile of your cigars is you have a little bit of light, you have a lighter, you have a light to medium, you have medium to full. For I
Yeah.
think the vast majority of the smoking population, even their Connecticut, is medium to full. Just
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, it's just the variety. Like they don't, in my opinion, again, I love them, love James Brown, love Derek Matthews.
Mm-hmm.
They hit my profile because I like the stronger stuff, but I totally understand why people would want something a little bit different for that. Um, but it's really nice that Benny's does do, like, whenever I've gone in there with my brother-in-law, the tobacconist there is really knowledgeable. They're in um shoot, it's like right across from a dispensary. Well, that doesn't give you any idea of where I'm even talking about. uh Let me see here, where are they at?
I've
They're,
actually never been
oh,
to a
nope,
dispensary,
nope.
so I don't know.
Plainfield. They live in Plainfield, and he goes to a Benny's like
Oh yeah, that's out
15
by
minutes,
Joliet.
10 minutes away.
Yeah,
Yes, yes,
yeah.
yes.
There's a Benny's in Joliet. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's a good site. Like, it's a big humidor.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy was really knowledgeable inside, and actually showed great direction. So that that alone, I think, also plays into the success of just Benny's having cigars versus a Total Wine, because they
Mm-hmm.
have not just a random person from the store works the humidor. Like, they have a
Mm-hmm.
dedicated. It's not like you show up and they go, "You're in the humidor today," and the next day you're behind the register. They have dedicated people that work in there, and
Yeah.
that makes all the difference.
Yep.
So
Yep. It definitely does.
when you're looking for a shop, are you looking for that training, instruction, educational shop versus the guy that goes, "Humidor's there, come to the register when you're done"?
Yeah, I prefer shops that, like I say, introduce cigars, not just my cigars, but if they got something new, they're highlighting it. They put it in a good spot, initially, so people can see it easy, or they put it right by the register or something. Like those are the shops that I like because they I like shops that engage their customers, not, oh, hey, the humidor is over there. Just let me know when you're ready to check out. That's gonna have them going to the big boys, the STG guys, and then Drew Estates and Rocky Patel. That they're automatically going to gravitate to that because those are the brands that they know. But a lot of people got to realize there's a
Correct.
lot of great brands out here that don't have $1 billion. They're smaller brands and they put out great work. You know, so yeah, so I prefer to have be in the lounge that they engage the customer and talk to them and say, hey, this is something that we got new here is rolled by Aganorsa Leaf, or any other factories that I work with, and then let them make a decision if they want to give us a try or not. And a lot of times they do. And when they do, they're like, oh shit, yeah, I got a new something that I got in my humidor that I can smoke. As I always say, I don't want your whole humidor. I just want a part of it. I just want to be in
Yeah,
the rotation somewhere. I don't have to be there every day, but
correct.
I want to just be in there.
For sure.
So.
Yeah. Yeah, you're just looking for them to
Mhm.
buy a box on rotation. And I'll be upfront with you. people ask what's in my humidor all the time. I don't have a single legacy box in my humidor. Period. All my boxes are smaller
Me neither.
companies, smaller brands, and it's not because they're not good. I talked about this with Danny Ravenelli, who's a friend of both of ours. Um,
Mm-hmm.
One of the things I've shared
505.
often, and I share this very often with, oh, I love them, and I share often with people. The
Mm,
legacy brands are like pro sports, right? They could be a little kind of prima donna-ish, a little, don't talk bad about me. The boutique brands are more college. You're not making the
hmm.
same money at the same level, but you got more heart because you're trying to prove
Yeah.
more. And
Oh
and
yeah.
I
Oh yeah.
often find that the smaller boutique brands have a better product. Um and and it's oftentimes a newer twist on a flavor profile, or a blend or something that maybe the bigger brands won't branch out and experiment with. And so I always tell everybody that, oh, I only smoke Monte Cristos. That's great. Awesome. Keep that in your rotation, but throw
Yeah.
in Black Starlight, throw in the smaller boutique
Hmm.
brands, throw them into your rotation, and your palate's going to be immensely grateful for it. It's like somebody that goes, I
Hmm.
only drink Jack Daniels all day. Like, well, I'm sorry. Like,
Yeah.
is that not boring for
That's
you?
boring. Yeah, it's
Like,
boring.
variety is the
Yeah.
spice of life. So let me
Yeah.
ask you this: when you branch out to other brands, what are some of your top three other brands that you were into pre your brand? And
Hmm.
then has that changed since you became an owner yourself?
I smoke everybody's stuff, bro. From somebody that started yesterday to somebody that's been in business 100 years. Um, I mean, Tatawahe pops into my head. What else? Crown heads. Um,
Yup.
maybe
Again,
maybe
smaller
Rumble Craft.
brands.
Yeah, maybe Rumble Craft. You
Okay,
know,
yes, smaller brands, and that's awesome. I love that. Um,
my thing
what's
is that the
your
big
what?
boys got all the money already, man. We got to support the smaller guys so the smaller guys can become the big guys too. We can't give all the money to STG, or all to this, and we can't give them all in general. We can't give it all to them. The little guys got to get some money too. So I give my money to
I
the
mean,
little guys. I gave enough money to the big guys. I got to support cats that are a little bit bigger than me, smaller than me. Yeah, shit. I want it all, man. Give it. I want it. I'm supporting you.
so did your opinion change more to that line after you yourself became an owner? Or did you have that mentality of
Mm.
smaller brands before you were an owner?
Well, to me, like smaller brands is universal across beer, spirits, and cigars. So it's the same to me. Like I don't drink like Anheuser Busch or nothing. I drink Three
Okay.
Floyds, or I drink Revolution Brewing. They're
Okay.
smaller. You know what I'm saying? And it seems like they put more heart. Based on basically what you said. Like they put more heart and
Yes.
soul into the product. So I appreciate that. So I support the smaller brands. So I've been across that across the board. Even with spirits, like I don't really do um if it's Jack Daniels, like it had to be like one of the rarer bottles, one of the single barrels or something like that. Because I don't know that brand like
Single
that, but I've
cask
had
or
some
something
bottles.
like that. Single
Yeah,
barrel.
those are very good. Like the common ones, I don't really bother with those. They're not that good to me. But yeah, I've historically always rooted for the little guy. It's David and Goliath, so I'm always rooting for David. I never root for Goliath.
Well,
Goliath was big, but
it
David
seems
came
like
through and
you've
knocked him out.
always had that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
that's very true.
So
David
yes,
had
I've
more
always been
heart. He
that
had
way.
more
Like,
to he had, you know what it was? He had more to lose.
mm,
He had more to lose.
yeah,
And the
like this
smaller
small
brand
brand
owners
here.
have more to lose. That's why they try
I
harder.
don't know if you can see it. It's Frank
Frank
August.
August.
Yeah, like they're a
Never even heard of
smaller
it.
company, but bruh, their stuff is phenomenal if you could find it. You know, they don't sell it in Illinois, so I had to get that from Memphis because they have a presence in Memphis. So I bought it in the store out there, and I know they have a presence in California because I had some out there, and
You need to try
I never
you need to try
never
some
seen
of
that one.
this. It's called Hidden Barn. So
Okay.
this guy 14th generation moonshiner. Took the
Mm,
family company legit in 2015. Put in a brand new 3-tier, it's probably 30 foot tall, still chamber pot this year into it.
hmm.
It's really good, dude. Like it's one of the styles. There's so many of the smaller brands that you could absolutely lose yourself in. But
Yeah,
I agree with you entirely. There's more heart. There's more
yeah,
there's more to lose. They try harder. They don't take, well, let me say it
yeah,
like this. I feel sometimes bigger brands, regardless of what they're in, can take advantage of the fact that they have a clientele that will buy everything.
yeah, yeah.
And
Like
that's
I
like
was just in Fort
you
Worth
can't do that.
for the NFG Fest, the annual fest that I do with Underground Cigar Shop. I did a special cigar for them for that event. But the Friday before the event, they had a whiskey tasting there, and Garrison Brothers sponsored the whiskey tasting there. So I got to taste some of their new stuff, and it was a whole, like, they had about like 7 bottles there, ranging from 94 proof all the way up to 140 proof. So I ran the gambit on that, and yeah, I was real nice after that. So, and that's just another example of a smaller company that's putting out some great work, and everybody doesn't know about them. So yeah, I root for the small guy.
Absolutely. You're supposed you were at a tasting, or
Hmm.
you're not supposed to swallow every tasting. That's a waste,
It
though,
ain't
right?
wine. Yeah, it ain't want the wine tasting. It was whiskey. I'm drinking that. I also
I'm
had the
right there
pleasure
with
of
you,
meeting
man. So are we
Gordon
gonna?
Crippen. Yeah, I met Gordon Crippen at Underground.
Oh,
This past week, yeah, this past
oh,
week I talked to
nice.
him online. I never thought I would ever meet him. For those who don't know, Gordon Crippen was one of the original owners of Dissident, and he told me
Hmm.
the history of Dissident,
Yeah,
and
before they sold the Syed.
yeah, 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 and then because I always thought Dissident always came from Oveja Negra, and it didn't. It was originally rolled by Placencia, and
Mm-mm.
he also blessed me with
Hmm.
one of the original soap boxes that he had when he had the line. So it went from Gordon to Ben Holt, and then from
That's
Ben Holt to
cool.
Sin and Josh. Yeah, that's who has it now, is Sin and Josh.
Oh,
So
that's cool.
yeah, so I got the
Yeah,
original. So matter of fact, I got it right here in my box. Hold on, I'll show it to you. Where are you? Is that it? Nah. Where is it at? No, that's me. Where is it at? Do-do-do. Yeah. Oh, there it is. Yeah, so that's it right there.
ooh,
Yeah. Yeah, so this is the original
yeah.
soapbox from Placencia. So I'm waiting to smoke that bad boy and
It's an
see,
old
how it's
one
different. 'Cause
too.
I've had the current soapbox. I've never had that one, so I'm very interested in partaking in that tobacco.
I haven't smoked a lot of Dissident. I'll be upfront with you, but I will say, until I got smart from it, just because of their branding, I did think it was a Ovejo Negro brand, until I
Hmm.
realized that Sid owned it, with her husband. I just because
Hmm.
that branding is very similar to that. Um,
Hmm. Hmm.
so what are what are we looking at from you? Where do you see you like 5 years from now? Like, what are your dreams? If I was to give you a fast forward button to 5 years, where
Hmm.
would you want to see your brand?
Get more international. We got to get in Canada. We're working on Canada now. We got
Okay,
some distributors up there. They're
okay,
interested in us getting across the pond and in the UK over there. Definitely that. And getting more of a foothold here, because it's still a lot of people that never even heard of me before. So yeah, just expansion. Put some more sizes in with the lines. Some of the lines that only have one vitola, expand it out to two or three. Just keep expanding so people have more options
okay,
to smoke with my line. Hmm.
okay. So international is big for you. Going to Canada is big for you. Um, is
Yeah.
is that is that going to be the next peg that you guys really focus on? Because at this point in time, you could probably do both a little bit, right? Focus a little on
Yeah.
expansion and US currently.
Yeah, because I mean, when you start getting international, like I said, like they'll pay for the order. I'll never see those cigars, and
Oh
they'll
yeah.
they'll leave the factory and go to whatever country they're going to. So, Sebastian from
Yep.
Cavalier was one of the main ones that really talked to me about going to enter the back. He was like, man, you have a
Hmm.
great brand and you could do well. And he was like, man, it's just easy money because they pay the cigars go over there, and I'm not there until I go over there. Like I said, go over there for like a week, do a tour through France and Spain, and do events, and then come back home. You know what I'm saying? But that's only like 1 week out of the year, and I'm still getting the orders all the whole time. Not only orders over there, but also orders here in the states. So it's man, it's a win. So we gotta
For
we gotta pin
sure.
that down this year.
And to be, from what I hear, the international business for New World, for anybody not understanding why I'm saying New World means non-Cuban, regardless of
Hmm.
legacy or boutique. So
Yep.
the New World, since Cubano de Habanos raised prices, I might have said that completely wrong. Raised
Hmm.
prices over the last couple of years. New World cigars are finding a big foothold internationally now.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
like
Yep. Yep.
30
Because
$40 difference from what I understand.
yeah, the Cubans over there are crazy as far as the price. So yeah, so you are 100% correct. They're looking for other cigars outside of Cubans to start selling because the price point is better.
Um, so are you going to be at Cigar Fest this year? Or did you know that they moved Cigar Fest?
Cigar Fest. I've never done it. Where is it?
Yeah, I know. Rocky Mountain Cigar
Oh,
Fest.
Rocky Mountain Cigar Fest. No,
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
ready
yeah,
to go
yeah.
back there yet. Yeah, I'm not ready to go back there yet. We did it twice, and we're
Okay.
not carried by smokers friendly, so
Yeah.
that's what makes the event more attractive to us. But we the two times we've been, we didn't. It was good for exposure, but we didn't make any money there. We sold a lot of stuff, but y'all taxes is like 60%, so they take 60% of the sales and put it towards the taxes. So it wasn't, for at our size, we're not ready for that to go for a third time, not yet. I will be back eventually,
Well,
but I got to work out something with
the
smokers friendly so we can maximize our dollar.
the reason why I bring that up is because I don't know if you had heard the news through the grapevine, but last week it was announced that Smoker Friendly is moving Cigar Fest, Rocky Mountain Cigar Fest, to Cheyenne this year, and it's going to be August 1st. So the taxes are going to be significantly less, and
Really?
it might be an opening because the taxes in Colorado are fucking stupid, like
Yeah.
57%.
Hmm.
So, but
Hmm.
I didn't know if you had heard that, but yes, Smoker
Mm-mm.
Friendly announced last week that they're moving to Cheyenne this year. So they're not doing one more at the Omni. They're moving to Cheyenne this year, and it's going to be August
Okay.
1st.
Now, what's the taxes in Wyoming though? Is it Cheyenne's
It's like a
Wyoming, right?
quarter a cigar. It's like a quarter a
Okay.
cigar. Danny Ravanelli makes fun of me all the time. I can't believe you just don't drive up to Cheyenne. I'm like, dude, you're 4 hours away from me. I'm not going to drive 4 hours to buy cigars. Like,
Yeah, I wouldn't either. Hey, no. Like you buy them and send them to me. Like, no,
but
I'm not doing that. I don't want a cigar that bad.
yeah,
So,
no, totally, totally. But that's going to be a great thing for the brand owners though, because instantly your obligation financially is a lot less. So just wanted
yeah, now
to
that
run
piqued my
that by you.
interest.
Not that I expect you to go this year, but next
Yeah.
year I don't think they're ever going back to the Omni. So
Mm.
Mike, Mike Strasberg here has a question for you. Did the Black History Month scholarship with Pravada a while back, or did you do the Black History Month with Pravada a while back? Any chance of doing it again?
Yeah, we did do that with Provider. That was a long time ago. Like, I want to say like 5 years ago. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Are you asking would I do that again with Provider or would I do it again? Period.
Mike asked. Mike asks if there's any chance of you doing it again,
I'm
whether it's
open to it,
Bravado or
you know.
something else.
Yeah, I'm open to it. I have me personally, I haven't thought about it since I did it, but no, it's never off the table. I'm always down to help people because you know people think cigars are evil and you know everybody's catching cancer and none of that shit's true. So the way we combat that is by using cigar sales to help organizations or different funds or scholarships. That's how you turn the narrative around on cigars. You know, because I mean, me and you could go out right now and stand on the corner and light up a blunt and smoke some weed and won't nobody say nothing. But you light up a cigar, shit, half the city come out here and arrest us. So you know it's weird, but you know, but yeah, no,
Well, I
I'm
think
down
since
to help.
Chicago
You
got
know,
the
if it makes sense.
dispensaries, I
Hmm.
think since Chicago got the dispensaries,
Bro.
the smell of Chicago is weed.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, it's like I'll be on the highway driving 80 miles per hour, and I can smell the weed from somebody else's car. But if I'm lighting up a cigar, like yeah, shit, you know, come and arrest me. Like goddamn, like shit. All I'm doing is this is rolled up dead leaves. That's
Well,
all that. Ain't nothing illegal about this.
my favorite is the people that go when you're smoking a cigar. They'll go, "Pass me the
Hmm.
joint," when they smell the joint.
Yeah, like the fuck. Like I don't want to smell that shit you're smoking, but you
You know,
frown on what I'm smoking. Man, shut the. Hmm. So I don't know, bro.
that might be something that, it seems like people are remembering that. That might be something that maybe you, Enid, bring back and do like a charity thing for fundraiser for that. I think that would be a great boost to the brand. I know you're friends with
Yeah,
Enid,
like I
right?
said, it's yeah, I know Enid. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. But yeah, scholars. I mean, charity work is never off the table for me. It's got to make sense on what we're doing. You know.
Well, I know charity work's never off the table. You were one of the first ones that partook in my charity event, Rocky Mountain.
Hmm.
Uh, oh my
Yep.
gosh, Rocky Mountain
Yeah, you gave me.
charity cigar charity. It's
Yeah.
been shut down just because my life's in turmoil, and I'll expose that later on here in the year when it's all over and I'm through with it. But you understand, I've shared with you. And that was something
Hmm.
I reached out to you, and literally all you said was, "What do you need and when do you need it by?" So,
Yeah.
from that,
That's easy.
I've always been appreciative. Um,
Yeah.
and so, when it comes to charity stuff in your own, what do you like to see in your own local area for charities, and what do you support charity wise in your local area?
A portion of Mr. Fahrenheit, which is rolled by Tabacalera La Isla in Santiago, Dominican Republic, goes to Ignite the
Hmm.
Spirit, which is a firefighter charity here in Chicago. So I do donate money to them from time to time to help, you know, fallen families of fallen firefighters or the firefighter got injured and he can't work anymore. You know, like me, you know, I got injured on the job and I cannot do the job anymore. So, you know, so I donate to that to help those that fell or lost their lives. Like it was a young fella just died. He was on truck 47, which is up north, and apparently this he was. I found out he was 30 years old, and he was at a fire, active fire, and the whole ceiling fell on him. So
Oof.
he made it to the hospital, and they started a GoFundMe for him to support him and his family, and then the brother died. So that was very sad.
See, I love that your brand stands for something on top of being just a cigar brand. The giving back aspect is fantastic. The
Hmm.
fact that you and I didn't know each other very well, and I called you out of the blue and asked if you wanted to be part of our charity event. We did the same
Hmm.
thing. We bought a military person a canine one year. We raised
Yeah,
30 grand. Actually,
yeah,
that was the year you donated. We raised 30 grand for that. And
yeah.
so you had mentioned it earlier, when you bring up tobacco charities, like when I actually did Ronald McDonald House. So my we did the math. Ronald McDonald House helped my brother or my sister and brother-in-law out to the tune of around It was almost $8,500 with free stays for my
Okay.
nephew when he had some brain stuff going on. So the first year we
Okay.
raised literally exactly to the T of $8,500, and that was me going, okay, I'm paying my sister's debt back so it can move on to somewhere else. But when I had that
Mm-hmm.
conversation with them, I totally thought they were going to hang up the phone. I was like, we're a cigar charity. We want to give you guys, this money that we raise. Are you interested? And they're like, well, yes. And I
Mm-hmm.
said, so you don't have a problem with tobacco charity money? And they're like, tobacco money spends the same as non-tobacco money, and we don't have the ability to say no to any of it. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
amazing. Because like if I
Yeah.
would have called up Children's Cancer Center, granted it would have been a little awkward to have a cigar event for a
Mm-hmm.
cancer center, but they would have instantly said no, regardless of how much it was. And it's
Yeah.
kind of like, do you want the money or not? Like, who cares where it comes from? And kind of goes to you. Like, if you wanted to sponsor a kids' youth league, there would be
Mm-hmm.
huge negativity going on around a cigar company on the back of their shirt. Quite frankly, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Like, you're supporting
Yeah.
the community.
Yeah, I've had like local like baseball teams reach out, and I was like, I can't do it because because it says cigars in the logo, and I don't want that backlash. Even though I'm helping, it'll turn into some other bullshit that I don't want. So I regretfully I had to tell them like, no, I can't do it. You know, I can't have the logo on a kid,
Yeah, and
and
that's
then
a
that further
shame because
pushes
you
the
would have done it
yeah. Yeah, yeah, I would have done
if
it,
the
but
stigma
the
wasn't
the
there.
FDA is already talking about, oh well, yeah, we're trying to do this XYZ to cigars because
So
kids are
dumb.
smoking them. Only kid I've ever seen smoke a fucking cigar was Pinocchio. So come on, bro.
Yeah,
I don't know any kids that
what
smoke
they
cigars. They smoke
buy
cigarettes.
at the store and empty out the tobacco and fill it with weed, smoke a blunt. Oh, you're not doing that
Hmm.
with premium hand rolled cigars. They're not sitting there on the rolling
No,
table going,
mm-mm.
like
You cut that
it's just
cigar
not
open, that
happening.
wrapper's dead.
Absolutely. I was talking about this with
Uh,
Kevin yesterday. Like it's so ridiculous how this country, the three main, in many ways, the three major things that started this country was alcohol, tobacco, and hemp, weed.
Yep.
The very first paper was
Yeah.
made
Yeah.
out of hemp. Boat ropes were made out of hemp. Now we outlaw it.
Hmm.
Tobacco was like one of the first cash crops grown in this country, to the tune of like the
Yeah.
most massive cash crop at the time. And now we hate it. Alcohol, we
Yeah.
somehow love, even though it's killed,
Yeah.
destroyed,
Like
wrecked, maimed, and ruined more
if you
families
go to
in
like
history.
Spain or something like that, man, like little kids are drinking wine and nobody frowns on. They didn't stop selling wine here in America, but shit, 8-year-olds over there smashing a Pinot Noir, and it's not a big deal. So I
Well,
mean, I know
okay,
some kids
so
smoking like
we're
Nicaragua, and so, but I mean, that's the environment that they're in. There's all cigars around, and their people smoke, and their fathers smoke, so they smoke with them. They start smoking 8, 10 years old. You know.
Yes, cigar Brett. No kid is paying $12 for a cigar, but they'll sit at the corner like I used to do, which you can't anymore. Sit with a $5 bill and tell somebody to buy you a pack of Camel Lights, and they can keep the change. Now you're giving them a 20, and they're still walking out
Oh
with two
yeah.
bucks. A
Hmm.
little bit of background on that. But so we're around the same age. I'm 40. I think we're relatively close to the same age here.
I
Would
will
you
be
agree with
50
me?
years old this year.
So we're relatively close to
Hmm.
the same. Fuck, dude, 50. I hope I look like you
Yeah.
at 50. Jesus Christ. Um, I
Drink a
already
lot of
have a
water, bro.
face for radio, and I can't go any worse. So, but anyways, you know, when in our time. So let me ask you this. We were talking about this on Kevin Shahan's show last night. I think
Mhm.
our biggest problem in society is the inability to discuss. And what I mean by that is, I feel your parents, my parents, their grandparents, you don't talk religion, politics. And I'm not trying to talk politics, I don't care. But you don't talk religion, politics, you don't do this, you don't talk this. I feel that has actually set us back as a society because we've lost the ability and we now treat it
Mhm.
like it's a sports team versus a conversation. It's a you're
Hmm.
against my guy, I'm
Hmm.
against your guy. Now we've got to do this versus
Yeah.
finding the similarities and folding that into our relationship. So when it comes to like drinking, I think that's also a big thing, right? Other countries treat
Hmm.
drinking as it's normal. You can have this for here. Don't drink till you're 21, and then it's crazy, and then you're drunk for like 5 years before you come out of it. And you're like, oh yeah, I don't remember my 20s. I don't like. Do you agree with that? Do you think we've lost the ability to talk politics and religion because we've been told to net talk about it?
Well, that's the reason why I've gone on numerous interviews that said, and I'll say it here too. If everybody smoked cigars and drank some kind of whiskey, all this hatred and bullshit would be erased. You know, that's why I
Yes.
released Metal with MLK. Before Martin Luther King Jr. went to Morehouse for undergrad, he worked at a tobacco farm in Simsbury, Connecticut, and he helped to grow Connecticut broadleaf. So he's one of the greatest unifiers there ever could be. So I was like, what
Hmm.
better way for me to, promote what I've been saying by using that little bit of information about Martin Luther King Jr. for the name of a cigar, and I did that with Tabacalera La Isla in Santiago, the Dominican Republic. So yeah, man, you have to learn about other than yourself to be able to appreciate other people. Otherwise, ignorance is going to fucking just take over, and then you have some thinking in your mind, and whatever you're thinking in your mind may not be true. So you got to get to
Correct.
know other people's cultures. I'm very big on other people's cultures. I like to learn about Irish people, Chinese. I've been to China several times. I trained over there to fight in China, so I know about Chinese culture. I know about Irish. I know something about everybody, and if I don't know, I'm asking because I want to learn. So, because when I learn now, I know where you're from. I know kind of what you're thinking, and I can relate to you a little bit more.
No, I agree with you. And by the way, I just want to point out, I asked him where's an exotic place he's been, and he said Hawaii. He's been to China and Germany beyond the. So that's yeah. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. He thinks Hawaii's more exotic than China. I would love to go to China. That's pretty exotic to me.
Oh,
I just want
China's
to eat
dope.
my way through the
It's
country.
dope, bro.
I just want to eat my way through the
Yeah.
country. But no, I agree with you.
Hmm.
So I love I've been in sales 25 years. I love debating. It's what I do for a living, kind of, right? That's a little
Yeah.
bit of what sales is. What I
Yeah.
always love to do that I find a lot of people don't do is I start with what I'm trying to debate and I learn what I can learn around the opposite of what I think. Because if I
Yeah.
can curtail an understanding of where they're coming from, then we could find mutual ground.
Indeed.
Because I feel
Indeed.
that a lot of people start with the strongest versus trying. It's always easier to start with, okay, we both have kids.
Hmm.
We both have jobs. We both are homeowners. You could find agreeances along the way. It doesn't have to start with World War III. But I'm curious for you, what about the drinking thing? Do you think if we allowed 10, 12 to drink, because that's what they do in other countries. You could drink with their dinner
Yeah.
with their family.
Yeah.
If we
Yeah.
allowed
Yeah.
that here, I don't think you'd have the binge drinking you'd have in their 20s, because it's don't touch the cookie jar until you can legally touch the cookie jar.
Yeah. Yeah. You always want something you're not supposed to have. You know, the culture here is different than other countries. It's a lot of bad parents. It's a lot more drugs and stuff here as opposed to. I'm just gonna use Spain for example. I'm sure there's a lot more crack here than there is in Spain. So I don't know if that model would
Oh,
work here
oh.
because I think it would be abused really bad. You know
But
what
do
I'm saying?
you think
If you
if
said
we never put that, do you think if we never put that in play, we could have had that?
possibly,
See,
possibly,
yeah,
but
yeah,
we got to
and I
blame
think we could.
Reagan and Oliver North and fucking Escobar.
Oh
That's
yeah,
when the drugs in this country really took off. Yeah, Escobar was a partner
oh
with
yeah,
America
the Iran
to get them
Contras.
drugs. That's why he was taking fucking pictures in front of the White House. Like, what the fuck? When does that happen?
Hmm.
One of the most notorious dope dealers in the
CIA was
world is taking a
importing
picture in front of the White
cocaine.
House.
Yep.
Yeah, like, dude, come on. Like he clearly had a pass to come to this motherfucker, and nobody bothered, nobody arrested him while he was here. Nothing, and he's just casually taking a picture in front of the White House. Like, come on, bro. You know.
No, I
So
agree.
yeah,
That whole Ollie North importing cocaine was a little surreal
yeah.
for it was I think the first time people understood that the movies aren't all lies. Like cuz
Like
that
the
played
movie
out like a movie.
with Tom Cruise. I forget the name of the movie, but he was the pilot that was flying all the drugs back
Oh,
and forth.
it was
I forget the name of it. It's a true
wasn't it
story.
American Pilot or something like that? Yeah, 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 yeah.
Something like that. It's a
Oh,
great
it's gonna
movie, and
drive me
it's
nuts.
based on a true
It is.
story
It
about
is.
how he was flying back and forth and flying them
Yep.
drugs into the country. So Snowfall is my frat brother did Snowfall. It's a TV show, and it's about how when the drugs first hit LA and how it just blew up out there. Like it's a lot of that stuff is derived from true stories. So yeah, I think it's
No, I
in
agree with you.
here. I think we abuse products a little more than say like like I said,
Yes.
I'll use Spain for example. They just drinking wine, but yeah, we wine, heroin, crack, shit, meth. We creating shit. All chemical meth is all chemicals, and we created that shit here,
American
and it
Made.
just sells like
American
crazy.
Made's the movie.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's it. That's a great movie.
No,
Great
yeah,
movie.
yeah. It really is a good movie, and you're 100% right. I actually got kicked out of. Oh boy, this is a little embarrassing, but it's kind of funny. I got
Uh
kicked
oh.
out of my because I was criminal justice in college,
Okay.
and then I realized I made more money in sales and that didn't have to pay for a college degree, so I went to sales instead. Um,
Yeah.
but when I
Typically,
was
if you're gonna do criminal justice, you're either gonna be a lawyer or you're gonna be a cop. That's
I was
typically if
going in
you
for
majoring in that.
Yeah, I was going in for law enforcement. So
Yeah.
my criminal
See.
justice teacher was a previous state cop, local cop, county, like he kind of ran through the gamut. And he brought in the DEA
Hmm.
agent that was a friend of his. And I wrote a 20-page paper on why I feel all drugs should be federally legal. I got an A on the
Okay.
paper. He's like, only reason I don't give you an A plus because I disagree with the paper, but it was well written, and I don't want to debate it. So I was like, I'll take the A. I don't care. I don't care. So anyway,
Yeah.
so he already knew where my stance was, right? I'm very libertarian. Whatever you want to put in your body is up to you. But anyways, so
Mhm.
D agent's going through his whole speech, and I raise my hand for questions, and I say, so is your job to get rid of all drugs in the entire country entirely? And he said, yes. And I said, so you don't want,
Mm.
as the DEA, no drugs in this country anymore? And he said, no. I said, so what are you going to do for a job if that's achieved? And
Exactly.
I was like, my teacher was like, get out of the room, get out of the room right now. It was such a smart ass comment and question. Get out. But I looked at him like, and everybody in the classroom was like, but answer the question. And the guy was like, and I'm like, oh, and I was already out of the room at this point, but from other friends told me that the question was glazed over and never, but I thought it was a valid
Hmm.
question. Like
Yeah,
you
it is.
need,
That is
in
a fair
order for a
question.
plumber to have a job, pipes need to burst. Like I'm
Hmm.
sorry, and I thought it was
Yeah.
valid. And so when you bring up the Irad Contra, it just goes to show like the government creates jobs for itself. Because
Hmm.
there's no debating that happened. See, I like stuff like this. See, this is fun to kind of just go back and forth a little bit because
Yeah.
I feel I
It's just a
feel that a lot
classic
of people
example of the
don't.
haves and the have-nots.
Very classic, very classic, very
This
classic, and
classism
it's a
is
shame,
all of that.
and it's a
Because
shame
really,
too
drugs is all
because
about
after
money.
that, all it is, and then after Ollie did that, they changed crack to be more criminally illegal than coke, which hurt the inner city communities, destroyed
Yeah.
Chicago, created Cabrini Green, created the Thompson.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
saw the demise of it, and I'm right there. Like it was a complete
So
bullshit thing
funny
that
story
happened.
about Cabrini Green. I worked at a firehouse that's in Cabrini Green. Now, this is after Cabrini Green's been
No,
torn down, right?
fuck.
So
Oh, okay,
now
okay,
over
okay.
there, there's a Target there. There's a fucking police station
Million
right
dollar
across from the
homes.
firehouse. But dig this shit. That is that firehouse is, to my knowledge, is the only firehouse in the city that has bulletproof windows. because the bullets were just flying like crazy over there.
Oh yeah.
And so they had to protect the firehouse from the bullets. Cabrini Green was back in the day was wow. Wow, I
Oh,
couldn't imagine
Candyman.
being a firefighter then. I wouldn't. Yeah, yep, Candyman. So I couldn't imagine being because I wasn't on the job when Cabrini Green was around. So, but I've heard stories about people that worked in that area, and it was tough. It was tough when you trying to get
So
up in there and there's a fire or somebody's sick, and while you trying to go up there, people are shooting at you and stuff. And yeah, it's different. That was a different project, a project housing.
oh yeah. So mom, dad, if you're watching, I'm sorry, but I used to go to 55th and Oreo, which was 2 blocks south of Western to buy dime bags when I
Hmm.
was in high school. But like
Hmm.
we'd roll up
Yeah.
there like 11 o'clock at night. I never forget the first time we rolled up at 11 o'clock at night. It was the first time I've ever met this guy. We later became friends, and you didn't show up in a car that they didn't know. I'll tell you that right now, because that was my mistake. Three guys come out around, like, I'm
Hmm.
looking for so and so. They're like, how do you know him? You're white kid. How do you know him? And I'm like, well, I'm coming from Evergreen. I was told to come out here and get a dime. So ever since then, it kind of lessened up, and we became friends and everything. But like,
Yeah.
no, like that's just how it was. Like Cabrini
Yeah.
Green growing up, the Robert Taylor homes, those were no-go
Hmm.
places. Those were no-go places for African Americans. Like I
Yeah.
know,
No, I wouldn't set foot in there. You don't go in there unless
no,
you're from there.
oh no, not I mean, not, I had my friends in high school. Like I ain't going to 55th and King, or I ain't going to Robert Taylor's. Like get the hell out of here, But like
Yeah.
it's it's sad that society made those homes, and it's even sadder that what Chicago did to the residents of Cabrini Green, of the Robert Taylors. They dispersed them
Yeah.
without any rhyme or reason, and they said you're on your own. And that was
Yeah.
always a problem for me. And that happened about what, 15, 20 years ago for the Robert Taylor homes?
Yeah. Roughly. Yeah.
So the
They
only
dispersed a lot of them to the
firehouse,
suburbs.
yeah, they did. And they didn't care about what happened to them after the fact. And that
Nah.
wasn't right, by any means. So really, the only firehouse that ever had bulletproof windows. So that firehouse was there during Cabrini Green's heyday.
Oh yeah. Yep.
It's
Yep.
not
Yep.
called
Yep.
Cabrini Green anymore, is it?
No. I forget what they call it now. It's a neighborhood name. It's not called Cabrini Green though.
Yeah,
I don't know the name
there's
of
no
it.
way they would have left that name. I know
Because
there's
what's the
million
name?
dollar homes and massive
Yeah,
apartments.
Walter Payton High School is in that area,
That's right.
and that's
That's
one of
right.
that's one of
That's
the
right.
top fucking high schools in the state. That's a phenomenal school.
Hmm.
If your kid gets in there, it's a phenomenal school. You know, and I don't know if you're familiar with. Are you familiar with Lindblom, the high school in Inglewood?
I've heard the name, but I'm not familiar with it.
Yeah, my daughter just got accepted into there, so that's one of the top high schools in
Congratulations.
the city too. So I was really happy to hear that.
Cheers.
So she's starting
Cheers,
seventh grade.
brother.
It goes from seven. Yeah, thank you, brother. It goes from seventh grade all the way through high school. So she's gonna start seventh grade year there, and then go all the way through high school. And they give a lot of scholarship money, and it's a very good education. So I was definitely pleased. She got in there because the school she's going to now is $1,000 a month, and Lindblom is free, and it's a better school. So, yeah, so I've been
Oof.
extra hyped about that. Yo,
Oh yeah.
only thing is I got to drive into Inglewood to get to the school, and I'm not too happy about that. But those two 9 millimeters I always keep with me will keep me very pleased as I'm driving through and back through there. So, yeah. Hmm.
and and the advantages, so she's in seventh grade.
She'd be going into seventh grade, starting at Lindblom.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so she'll stay there through, and then
All the way through high school.
she'll
Yep.
stay there through all the way through high school. So that's great for you. And quite frankly, like, it's a little discomfort maybe to drive there, but the end goal of her getting the better education is definitely worth the trip, obviously.
Yeah.
I
Yeah. Yeah.
pay like $1,200 a month right now for my daughter to go to a Montessori school. I can't wait for her to go to public school. I can't wait for her to go to public school, dude. Can't
Yeah, you
wait.
got me beat.
So
Shit.
What do you want to
Mhm.
see? What do you want for your daughter then? Like if you could roll a crystal ball and pick something for her, like where do you want to see her at? Do you want her in law field, doctor? What do you see?
Um, e- right now she loves animals so much she wants to work for PETA. I know that's gonna change because I don't know
She
what
might be
PETA
a vet.
pays. Yeah, but yeah,
Nothing.
she could be a
Nothing.
vet. I would love to see her do that, or I support her in whatever she wants to do. My thing about my kids is
I
I
love it.
never force them to be me. Like you can
Okay.
look at me if it's aspects of me you like, yeah, go for it. But I always taught my son is 27 and my daughter is 11. I've always taught them, yeah, I am me, but you have your own path. I have my path is way different than theirs. My path is cigars, whiskey, firefighting, that rough man shit. But that's not really that. But like my son is a wine sommelier, so he picked up palate a palate occupation, and I had no idea he was even going to do that shit, and he did, man. And he's good at. He's studying for the second level now, so so he could taste
That's
cigars. He
awesome.
he smokes weed, but he could taste cigars and pick out the notes in them. And he tells me about wines from different countries and all this stuff. Because I drink wine sometimes too. Everything I do is palate driven. Whether I'm cooking, smoking, drinking is all palate driven. So that's what helps me develop cigars, is I'm always tasting things, right? But I never push things on my kids. Like I ran track. Historically, I played football. Historically, I ran track for the University of Illinois. I don't force my kids to run track. My son ran track because he wanted to. He ran track from Mount Carmel, where Donovan McNabb went to.
Mount
So
Carmel. Your
yeah,
your
yeah,
son
he's a
went to Mount
caravan dude.
Carmel.
Yeah, he's a
Okay, see,
caravan
that's
dude.
right. My
Yeah, yeah,
stomping grounds, right? Brother Rice, Mother Macaulay, Mount
yeah.
Carmel. These are all the
Yep, yep.
schools that my friends went to that I was always afraid to because the nuns whoop your fucking ass. Uh, I'm not even
You almost
kidding.
made me spit my whiskey out on that one, bro.
I'm not even kidding. But you know I'm right, Eric. You go to Marist, Rice, or
Yep.
Mount Carmel, the nuns will whoop your ass. Now today they won't, but back then,
No.
oh, they
Oh
would
yeah,
lay
they get it
across the
in.
tops of your
Like on the Blues
hands.
Brothers. Yeah, like the
Yes,
Blues Brothers.
and that's
So
God's honest truth, everybody. I've had so many of my friends that come home with their fingers, the backs of their hands wrapped
yeah.
with a ruler. Ooh, them nuns
hmm
weren't nice.
Oh yeah, they whoop that
Them
ass, and they have a paddle in there, just like the fraternities
oh,
have. Yeah, they whoop you with the
oh
paddle. Yeah,
yeah.
that old school. They don't do that now, but yeah,
Well,
old
they
school that we
can't
talking about.
now.
Yeah, yeah, you get your ass beat. Yep, you sure would.
Yeah. So what?
hmm
Who's Cigar Brat? What's his first name?
Richard Bratton. Yeah, he's my
Oh,
national sales
oh,
manager.
okay. Yeah, Richard. We talk about all topics here. We go across and just have a good time with discussion. Area 51 might have to wait for next time, but it might come up. Who knows? That's the part. That's the fun of the show. I come in with
hmm
no preconceived notions. We kind of just let it take it where it goes, and that's why people
Yeah.
watch, right? Because it's something
hmm
different every single time. So Son's 27, killing it in the world. Is he going to come into your space? I don't know if you said that.
Wait,
Is your son going
and
to come
who?
into your space?
Um, like I say, he'll smoke a cigar, but he smokes weed, bro. So
Okay, so
he
it's not like
wants to
I'm going to
help me
try
with
to
different.
work with my dad, do stuff.
Yeah, nah. I mean, he wants to help me with different aspects, like the marketing and stuff like that. So I need to engage them because the younger folks they know
They
a
know.
lot of that shit. And then he went to Howard University in DC. So he studied business and stuff like that. So he knows different
Fuck.
aspects of like the younger feel to it. So I'm gonna engage him on some of that stuff. We were just talking about that the other day when I was talking to him, and he wants to help me out with different things as far as marketing and stuff like that. So I'll engage him on that, and make sure I compensate him appropriately for what he could do for us.
Well,
So mhm.
I'm going to preface it by this. Just
Mhm.
goes to show you can smoke pot and be
Mhm.
incredibly accomplished. Howard University is a very prestigious school, is a
Yeah,
very
great
hard
school.
school to get into, very
Yeah.
hard school to get into.
Mhm.
Quite
And it's in the
frankly,
hood too. All the good schools are in
yeah,
the hood.
that's what I'm saying. Like, who cares what you do in your like, I always see so many people stigmatized by their extracurricular activities, but the reality of it is most lawyers do coke, or at least that I know. Most day traders and stock exchange guys are literally Wolf of Wall Street is there still their world today. Like, you can
Ah,
be
bro.
highly accomplished and have
Mhm.
vices that the world thinks are a quote unquote negative to you.
Yeah, yeah.
And I love
That's
that.
true.
Like, that's great. That's fantastic. So your daughter loves people eating tasty animals. That's what we call PETA. Um, so hey, what's up, Gary? Oh, you're still at smoking right now? Oh, Jesus, Gary. You're hanging out
Yeah,
down
okay.
there. Um, so your daughter potentially may want to be
Mm.
a veterinarian, maybe. If she comes to you and says, "Dad, I want to be part of the business," would you allow her to do that? And or would you make her go through college first?
I would still suggest going to college. Um, I just think college is not necessary for everybody.
Correct.
There are a lot of trades out here that need to be filled. If you go to a trade, you can make a lot of fucking money
Correct.
and don't have to go through 4 years worth of stuff. But going to college was definitely an experience. It's like it's your first time leaving your house and kind of being on your own, and to a certain extent. So I kind of wanted her to experience that. Now if she does, then I mean that's fine. Like I said, everybody has a different path. That's the path I took. So it doesn't necessarily mean like you got to go to college to be successful because you don't. Shit,
Sure,
you can be a
sure,
fucking
sure.
millionaire and never fucking go to college. You know, but
Yeah.
if she wanted to be a part of the business and she gonna have to know tobacco. That's shit. That's the thing. If
Of
you
course.
gotta know what I know.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna do it, we gotta do it right. If you're not gonna do it right, then I need you to go do something else. So
See what I
even
love
with
about
Nigel,
what
it's my son. He got to do something right. If you're not doing it right, bro, I can't. I have no use for you. You got to do another trade or another occupation.
see what I love about what you just said is that you don't believe in nepotism. You don't believe in giving something to somebody just because of who they were born. And to
Mm-mm.
me, that is amazing. Because there's no point in giving something to somebody that they know nothing about just because they're
Yeah,
born into your family. And I know
yeah.
I'm not going to name names, but I'll share with you after the show, but I'm not going to name his name now. But one of the premier master blenders in the world today touched no tobacco for 6 years. He swept floors, he emptied garbage,
Mm-hmm.
and he learned
Mm-hmm.
everything going up to touching tobacco. And today he's one of
Mm-hmm.
the premier blenders out there in the world, saved a brand. So
Mm-hmm.
like I love that because you're making them work for what they get, never give
Yeah,
them.
like I won't say. I'll tell you who it is, off air. But there's a good friend of mine that's a very prominent blender that started his own company and all. And his daughter works for him, but his daughter doesn't smoke, and she runs some events by herself. And they were
We're
at a
talking
particular
about the
event I
same
was at.
person.
Okay, so
I
the,
think
the
we
person,
are.
the young lady, yeah, the young lady was right next to me, and she had to ask me questions about their cigars because I've smoked them before, and I'm just like, baby, you gotta you gotta smoke them because you're the
Fantastic.
one selling them, because your dad's not here, so you gotta smoke them. But she had a lot of work done in her mouth, some veneers or some shit, and she was just like, "Well, I don't want the cigars to stain my teeth." And I'm like, I get it, but you're selling cigars, so you gotta be able to talk intelligently about your family's product. So I don't think that prompted her to smoke cigars, but I'm gonna give you my 2 cents if you willing to listen. You know, if you're selling cigars, you at
Sure, for
least
sure,
had
for
to
sure.
smoke them at least once. Otherwise, to me, it's a hard sell
Oh
because I
yeah,
ask questions when I'm buying cigars. If you
it
can't tell
is.
me about the cigar where it's kind of intelligent, it doesn't have to. You don't have to give me everything, but if it has to sound good enough for me to want to buy. And if I'm starting to smell bullshit when you're talking to me, then I'm starting to lean towards not buying. So you got to be somewhat intelligent about the product that you're selling.
Yeah, and so then here with our last question tonight, before a little bit of a lightning round for you, um,
Mm,
what was the biggest thing? Because you have an expansive age gap between your oldest and your youngest.
two different
What
women.
did you learn? Well, I figured, but what did you learn that you did differently with one over the other? Like obviously boy girl different in general. I only have a daughter. So I've had to learn to be empathetic when naturally I'm not. Like you don't come to me and whine. I'm gonna go, what the fuck is your problem? Like, and I've had to learn to go, "Hey, okay, I love, let's talk this out." Like I've had to learn to be soft and empathetic, like for how I was raised. My dad like rubbed some dirt
Hmm.
on it, nothing's falling off, stop crying, and
Yeah,
so for me, but what was the challenge that you learned? Was it 16-year age gap and then boy and girl?
yeah, yeah. Well, my son was bad, bro. Like I had to whoop his ass all the time because he just thought he was so fucking slick. I was like, bro, like all the shit you did, I did, but I didn't get caught. You got caught. I was like, because I know the tricks, bro. I was like, you came from you was swimming around in my balls, so I know what you're thinking, bro. So I had to stay on him. If I didn't, he'd be locked up. So I'm not even bullshitting, man. The shit that he was doing when he was younger, bro, he'd have been locked up somewhere if he'd have stayed with his mom, because she wasn't really doing what I needed to be done. And when he was given to me full time, bro, I took that role, and to this day, if he was on this podcast right now, he'll tell you everybody that's listening, like as he told me, he was like, "Dad, I love how you raised me because I wouldn't be where I'm at right now if it wasn't for how you treated me when he was growing up." So yeah, and I told him I was
Awesome.
like, yeah, in some instances I might have been a little too hard on you. I might have been, and I apologized to him for that. I was like, yeah, I might have went overboard sometimes, but I'm like, dude, I despise liars, I despise thieves, I despise people that don't do the right thing, and I would
Yes.
prefer me beating your ass than having your ass beat by some random fucking cops on the street.
Yep.
So
Yep.
pick an
Yep.
ass beating you want. I would prefer the beating from my daddy than the beating from a cop. You know what I'm saying? Because that beating from the cop could be the fucking end. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, no, I prefer a beating from my daddy than from a police officer. So I mean, like I say, I might have been a little overboard with him every once in a while,
But
but
here's how you not overboard. Here's how you
mm,
didn't go overboard. He turned out great. He's excelling.
mm,
That's how you didn't
mm,
go overboard. You did the
yeah.
right amount as a father of only 5 years. I feel I go
Hmm.
overboard by raising my voice like this, and I'm like, oh no, But like, so like I mean, my dad looked like he was pull starting a lawnmower, chasing me around the house, trying to whoop me sometimes, and I deserved most of it. so, so now you with your daughter, how personality wise are they different?
I have never laid a hand on my daughter at all. I couldn't even bring myself. I would probably cry more than she did if I spanked her. It would hurt me
Yes.
that much to lay my hands on that little girl. So I can't do it. I'll raise my voice to her every once in a while because I have a deep voice and it
Yeah, it's
scares
Barry
her and
White.
all that. But I try to even fucking not do that. Like she's a straight A student. She's been on the high honor roll every year of the school, every semester, whatever she's in. She's on the high honor roll every time. She doesn't cause problems. She doesn't do dirty shit. Like my son was doing dirty shit, man. And yeah, dude, I couldn't bring myself to lay hands on my daughter. Like, no, I don't hit women at all anyway. But yeah, how the Bible says, spare the rod, ruin the child, or whatever the quote is.
Spoil the
But
child.
yeah. So I don't feel like I need to do that to her, because she doesn't do anything that spawns that type of reaction out of me. You know, she has a lot of
Oh,
self
for
worth of
sure.
herself where she wants to be great, and I love that in her. And she works hard at her schoolwork and all that stuff, and she rarely hears no from me. If she wants something, yeah, baby, you got it, because she's doing what she
Seems
knew to
like
do
she's
on
worked her
her quote
ass
on
off
job.
for it.
Yeah,
Correct.
that's school is
Correct.
her job, so she's doing great on her job. So, hey, man, the world is your oyster. Like, I'm not going to tell you no on unless it's just something just totally ridiculous. But yeah, no, I rarely tell her
For
no.
sure.
So. Hmm.
I came around the corner and startled my daughter, and she started to cry, and I instantly broke down. I was like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I was just trying to have some fun. Like, I'm so sorry." If that was my son, I would have probably been like my dad did, like, "Suck it up. Come on. It was just a joke."
Yeah,
But like,
yeah,
no, no,
yeah.
no. It's the dynamic is totally different, and having a daughter has forced me to like be soft. Now, I'm the friend that my
Hmm.
friends call when they get done with the Boys and you did greats and are looking for just cold hard, rip you open and hear you the
Hmm.
truth. I can't do that with my daughter. And it's one of those things that
Yeah.
was really hard for me to learn that. So, here in closing, if you had any historical figure, any at all, regardless of who it
Hmm.
is outside of Jesus, who would you smoke a cigar with, and what would it be from Black Star Line?
Um, just off the top of my head, probably Malcolm X.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to sit and smoke a
Okay.
cigar with him, and just because him and Martin Luther King were at odds at one point, we would smoke a metal with MLK.
Okay. It's one of Denzel's best movies, by the way. Absolutely.
He should have won an Oscar for that role.
X
Hmm.
was, uh, X was such. It was a tough movie. It was raw. It was great. I love it. Sorry.
Yeah.
Um, no, so. Is that a little insight into what we might be seeing for another line of Black Star Line? Call it
Hadn't
the
thought
call
about it,
it
but
call it the call it the razor, since he was known for carrying his what's it called, the straight blade.
right, right, right. Yeah, yeah,
At
yeah.
least in
Nah, I mean,
his
that's the
youth, in
idea.
his youth.
Yeah.
Right, that's a
That's the
good,
idea.
make a Lancero and call it the straight edge or something like that, or whatever he called it.
Hmm.
Yeah, man.
Hmm.
uh,
Hmm.
PCA 2027, everyone here right now. No, I'm just kidding. But well, I tell you, Aric, brother, it's been so much fun having you on the show over the years, and I've had the opportunity to meet you a few times in person, and you're always welcome on this show anytime you want to come back on.
Thank you,
You've been a
brother.
regular, I think, every year, and we'll keep it that way as long as the show remains. So, from the bottom of my heart, love you. Thank you for coming on and spending the
Love you
night with
too, man.
us, and everybody watching. Smoke as much as you like, smoke as much Black Starline as you fucking can, and have a great rest of your week. Bye, everyone.